What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we got our best beginner's guide for Dark Eden M. Ooh-wee, if you like it. Ooh-wee, if you love play to earn games, then here we go. We got another WEMIX game. You guys are probably like, who is this guy? I got that. Ooh, we got that fresh cut all going. We got a lot to talk about. Surprisingly, I've been enjoying this game. I have nothing really else to do or play, and I've been playing this game and I've been enjoying it. I'm gonna go over a few things that hopefully will help you get started in this game. There's a lot to cover in this game. Maybe I'll make more videos. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So far we reached level 35. We're doing pretty good. We got 62,000 combat power. So first thing I want to go over is your buffs. Now this is a really hardcore grindy game. I mean, you're just grinding constantly. I guess maybe that's why I like it. It feels really grindy, like A3. It gives me that A3 Still Alive vibe where you're just grinding monsters forever. And there's just a lot of like character building and a lot of stuff like that. So you need to always have buffs going, and there's a bunch of different buffs you can have. You can have a pet buff, which means you have a pet out walking around, and you really need to have a pet out all the time whenever you're playing, because they not only will go out and collect loot for you, but you will also get additional buffs from them, stuff like increasing your XP gain and various other things. Also, joining a guild will help out a tremendous amount. If we take a look at our guild, you have stuff like guild buffs. Depending on your guild level, you can go ahead and activate different buffs to get increases in stuff like your HP and accuracy. And if we go ahead and we take a look and transform just basically transforms your character into another character. Now the game is pretty generous. You're gonna get a lot of these scrolls, and they last for like 30 minutes. So you get one for like pets, and then you'll get one for transforms, and you just go ahead through here. We'll click use. Let me go to pet management. This is the one we kind of start off with. It's this basic spider, but you'll see that we get a lot of really good buffs. Now there are some additional potions that you're going to need to use as well. So we have a speed boost potion, which we're going to set up as a hotkey to auto use. Is going to increase our attack speed. You always need to have that when you're grinding. You have an HP boost, which is going to increase your HP by 10%. Now this one you don't necessarily need to always have. This is kind of just if you need that extra buff for HP. This would be better if you're doing like PvP combat, but if you're grinding mobs, you really don't need to use this unless you notice that your HP is always running low. And then finally, the attack enhancement potion. This one you should always have, no matter whether you're grinding mobs or doing PvP, just because you want to be able to destroy monsters and other players as fast as possible. So those three are definitely the most important ones. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set these up. We're just going to put this right here, bam. We're going to put this one right here, bam. And then finally, we're going to put this there. So we put them in our hotkey right here, so we can just go ahead and click to activate. But if you want to set it to auto, you need to make sure that you click where it says auto, or see where it says auto. See, when I click it, it now turns green and it's all highlighted. So now the computer will automatically use this, and then every time it runs out. Now let's take a look at the character skills, because I know a lot of people have questions about the builds and stuff like that. We're going to go over these stats real quick. We have strength, dexterity, and finally INT. If we take a look at strength, you'll see HP, attack power, auto HP regen, which is very important. We take a look at dex, we have accuracy, evade, and defense. And then finally, for our INT intelligence, we got skill damage, critical resistance, and skill MP regen. So the two most important things is your MP and your HP, because if you do not have any MP and you have it on auto, which I already have been the victim of, your character will just stand there and he won't do anything if he doesn't have any MP to use skills. So you always need to have MP, and then the problem with that is you're gonna have these MP potions. You run out of these MP potions while you're AFK grinding. Your character is just going to kind of stand around and not do anything until his MP is regenerated enough so that he can use one of his skills. So because of that, you don't want to be spending all of your gold to constantly be buying these MP potion recoveries, because let me tell you, gold in this game is very scarce. I mean, to craft an uncommon item at like level 32, level 33, it costs like 26,000 gold. I mean, you go through gold at a ridiculous amount, and you don't want to be wasting all your gold on potions. So that's why I want to say that one of the most important stats that you should really put a lot of points into is your INT for that skill MP regen, just because you want to be able to generate more MP. And then on top of that, it's going to also increase your skill damage, so that way you just go through the mobs like crazy. Now, another one that's also important, of course, is strength, because this is your just raw attack power and also your HP, and more importantly, your HP regen, which also helps out a lot. Now, dexterity is more for PvP combat. You're going to see accuracy and evasion. These are two huge stats when it comes to PvP, because you'll notice that if you go and you do like arena, there's going to be some times where you're attacking your opponent and it'll say miss. And that's because your accuracy on your character is just not high enough, and they have higher evade. And because of that, you're going to notice a lot of times where, man, all your attacks just keep missing. And it doesn't matter how much damage you have. If you've got 1,000,000 strength, but you have no accuracy, your character is going to be constantly missing. And that really hurts you. But on the flip side of it also, evasion is really good in too, because it's going to buff that. And this is also good even for PvE content, because I can't tell you how many times I'm out here grinding monsters and they'll be trying to attack me and it'll just pop up and say miss. So it's really good counteractive too, because when you're trying to get like swarmed by all these enemies, you'll notice that you won't take as much damage because they'll be missing a lot. So it's really kind of hard to say which one is exactly important, because they're all kind of important in certain situations. But hopefully you have like a better understanding about these stats and exactly how they work. But definitely INT is probably, I would say, the most important for that skill MP regen and the skill damage as well. Dexterity for PvP content, but also is really good for staying alive. Thing that I want to go over real quick in this beginner's guide, because this video is going on way too long. There's just so much to talk about. I got to make videos on every little topic. But each of these little pieces of gear they have these substats. Now, I just want to go over some of the best substats that you want to look out for when you're using your stones to re-roll. So if we go ahead and we take a look at something like this necklace, you'll see that we can go ahead and we can do what's called an option change, which is basically re-rolling the substat that's on there. So currently I have HP and it's 216, which if we take a look at the menu right here, 216 is the lowest amount of HP we can get. So we take a look at all these different ones. You'll have stuff like accuracy, XP gain, gold gain, blah, blah, blah. XP gain and gold gain are probably the worst. And you're probably thinking, well, you know, at first glance, it seems like they would help out, but honestly, they're not. These are probably the two worst stats, because if you take a look how it works is, let's say that you re-roll and you get this gold increase by 1%. But you could re-roll and you could get something that increases your attack power by, let's say, 15 or 20, or even if it's 11. You're going to be destroying more monsters with that extra attack power, as opposed to just having that extra gold gain. And because of that, you're actually going to be gaining more gold, because you're going to be destroying more monsters with the attack power. So stuff like that you have to be careful of. These are like literally like the two worst stats that you could get. Accuracy, again, is really good for PvP content. Penetration is also good for PvP, but really stuff like for grinding mobs, if you're going to be just a straight PvE player, max attack power, HP, crit rate, critical, those are really good stats. We'll take a look at our leg piece right here, which I believe they call boots, but it shows like the legs. So this one, I have auto HP regen 40, which isn't bad, it's pretty good. But one of the best ones that you can get is the HP steal right here. It's a very low percentage, But if you can stack this a few times, it can really add up. Basically what this does is every time you attack an opponent, it steals a portion of that damage as HP. So it just replenishes your HP, which again is really good because it not only gives us more survivability, it helps save us HP potions so that way we don't have to buy HP potions with our coin. So this one, absolutely an amazing stat. If you can get this as a reroll, definitely keep HP steal. Evasion, again, evasion is really good too, and that's good for PvP and PvE content. Now, if we take a look at our weapon, the best one that you want to look out for is the ignore defense damage. This is an absolutely insane stat. I went ahead and I re-rolled it. I got it right here for 34, which is pretty strong early game. What this means is this completely ignores the opponent's defense, and this is just straight raw damage. So there's no way for them to counter this. It doesn't matter if they have a million defense. If you have ignore defense damage, that's just raw damage that just goes through, and it doesn't matter about your opponent's defense. So absolutely an amazing stat that you really need to look out for when you are re-rolling for your weapon. If we go in the menu, you got your coin right here. If you want to go ahead and transfer your coin, it's 130,000 of your tokens to get one of these cryptocurrencies. Or if you want to exchange one crypto, you can get 100,000 tokens. And I know a lot of people are having trouble playing on PC, so I'll have a future video very soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, about how to do that. Stay happy, stay safe, my friends. I'll see y'all later. Peace.